and everybody here, and we are so eager to see what the expanded House majority can do when we send you some reinforcements up there on Capitol Hill. Thank you, General and Commissioner and everybody who's here. Thank you for this amazingly warm, literally warm welcome to Tampa, because it does not feel this way back in South Bend, Indiana, I can tell you that much. And I see so many people here who were part of our primary effort. It meant so much to me to have your support when I was running for president. And it equally means so much to me that you did not waste 1 minute joining me in supporting Joe Biden for president of the United States. And one saying you hear a lot when you're in uniform, especially when you're in these purple units, these joint units, a lot of which are here in Tampa, that bridge the extraordinary divide between Army and Navy and Air Force and Marines, is you hear the phrase, one team, one fight. And wherever you were in the primary, whatever Democrat you were supporting, or if you were an independent, or one of an awful lot of Republicans who know it's okay to change your mind this time around, we are all one team today for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and I'm proud to be part of that. And I'm excited to be here because this is a place that a lot of the people I served with called home when they were not on deployment with me. And I know how much this community meant to them. And I know how much the issues of military families and veterans and those who serve mean in and around this part of the country. And it's one of the many, many, many reasons why I am fired up about the need to replace this commander-in-chief with somebody who actually cares and is going to do a good job and do right by our military families. One of the things I felt when I was overseas was that the flag on my shoulder was actually one of the things that protected me, because it represented a country that was known to keep its word, known to our allies and our adversaries as a country that kept its word. When the President of the United States is not capable of telling the truth, that is a national security issue, and that's part of what we got to change fast. Of course, once in a while, he does tell the truth. He told the truth standing in Section 60 of Arlington, and anyone in our generation of service members knows what that means. He told the truth when he said the words, "I don't get it," because he doesn't. He doesn't get what it means to serve. How could he? He avoided service when it was his turn, taking advantage of the wealth and connections that he was born to, and ever since has regarded anybody who puts on the uniform to serve this country the same way he regards anybody who pays the full amount of taxes that they owe, or anybody who takes their own SATs. He regards them as suckers and losers. Well, I regard those who serve this country as patriots, and so does Joe Biden. Joe Biden won't have to run a focus group to know what's on the minds of a military family, because the Bidens are a military family. They get it. He knows what it is, as so many families here have gone through, to hug a loved one goodbye before they head off downrange and get on one of those gray tail planes to take them overseas. He knows in his heart what that is like. And that's why you will never see a President Joe Biden go silent in the face of Vladimir Putin after bounties are put on the heads of U.S. troops. That will never happen under a President Joe Biden or a Vice President Kamala Harris. That oath of office is about protecting this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And to that, I might add, microscopic. We know what we're up against with this pandemic. And yet we got a president who published on the White House website that one of his achievements was ending the pandemic. They think it's over, which is why they're completely incapable of doing something to actually get us back to work, back to normal, back to our lives, back to health and safety. Because if you don't listen to scientists and doctors on questions of science and medicine, then you'll be unable to solve those problems. And as it is for a pandemic that the president is in denial about, so it is for climate change that is not theoretical for people here in Florida or anywhere else. We must address these issues by facing reality and doing something about them, and we will when we have a new and better president of the United States. But I want to be clear, I'm not just here because of what we're up against. I think we know what we're up against, and that ought to be motivation enough. But I'm here because of what it is we have a chance to come together and be for. You know, it's not everybody that you come to admire and appreciate more through the experience of competing with them. But that is the case with Kamala Harris, and that is the case with Joe Biden. People who were as decent and as kind to me before, during, and after the time that we were competing. People who understand that at the end of the day, we've got to come together. And Joe Biden is the kind of person, leaving aside the policies, and we know the policies need to change, but he's also just the kind of human being who gets up in the morning wanting to heal, not to divide, wanting to console, not to antagonize. And that's the kind of president of the United States we need right now for a country going through what we're going through. That's what we have a chance to do right now. We have a chance to expand this country's sense that we're all in it together at a moment when we have got to come together if we're ever going to get through what confronts us. So just imagine what it would be like to get up in the morning and not have to wonder what the President of the United States just tweeted. Imagine what it would be like to get up in the morning and not have to worry about the conduct of the President of the United States at all. Just maybe not have to think of politics for a day or two in between things. Imagine what it would feel like to turn on the news, see your president, and feel your blood pressure go down a little bit instead of up through the roof. That's what we have a chance to do when we get Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the White House. Now, I don't have to tell you all the ways in which Florida has come to be the center of the political universe once again. This race is close. It is a barn burner, and so much depends on getting out that vote. Yes, there are some very encouraging national polls that suggest that that coalition of progressives and moderates in the Democratic Party and independents and Republicans is strong, but it doesn't count unless people actually go to the polls. And that's why, first of all, that's why we stand up for everybody's right to do so without interference, and we'll always push back on any attempt at voter suppression. After all, if your strategy is to suppress voters, it suggests that you don't have a lot of confidence in your own ability to persuade voters. But also, we got to make sure our folks actually get out there and do it, and that's why your work is so important in these last few days. I know campaigning is different. We've all seen all the ways campaigning is different now. But here's the thing that hasn't changed. The most powerful thing for somebody deciding how to vote, or for somebody deciding whether to vote, and I'm worried about both of those things. The most powerful thing is not a commercial on TV. It's not a speech by somebody like me. It's someone in their lives reaching out and talking to them about why it matters. And it doesn't hurt to talk about why it matters for you. And we've all got our different reasons why. Mine includes the people that I served with that weren't suckers and losers. It includes the person I come home to and the fact that this wedding ring on my finger exists by the margin of a single vote on the U.S. Supreme Court. And we stand up for our families. My why includes my mother-in-law. Since marriage equality came to the land and I am a married man, my mother-in-law is battling cancer and gets her insurance through the Affordable Care Act that Joe Biden wants to strengthen and expand, and this president wants to demolish and take away. Those are the reasons it's personal for me. Summon the reasons why it's personal for you, and don't be afraid to share them. Because this election is personal for all of us in one way or another. It's not about the horse race. It's not about who looks good on Twitter. It's not about the numbers on a page. It is about our lives. That's what's really at stake. And think about how our lives and our communities might be better when we get the kind of leadership that America deserves. Thank you for being part of that. Please stay after it. Stay motivated, stay healthy, stay safe, and let's have a lot to celebrate in a few short days. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go. Your time is running out. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now.